Credit Karma doesn't show the exact credit score that's on your credit report. It was okay for me to find something free or, listen, I can't come. I ain't got the money. It doesn't matter if I have the money. I have it budgeted for something else that's already allocated. Maybe, I know when I bought my house, my average score between the three was 630. 2023 is my year to be in a 700 club, and my goal was anywhere from 700 to 750. I had a ton of late payments, Lord. Oh, Jesus. I know why I didn't want to pay them people on time, but I had a ton of late payments. Hey y'all, this is Timeka, the face behind Heyyy HR, and I am so excited to tell y'all about my credit score. This has been like a dream that I've been working on for a long time. It's been a hustle, man. When I tell you it's been rough, it definitely took me exercising some financial muscles that I did not want to exercise. But if you guys want to hear my journey and some good tips, because I got tons of tips for y'all too, on how I took my credit score from the mid 500s to over 700. Definitely keep watching. This is about to be good. So growing up, ain't nobody teach me nothing about credit, how to grow it, how to take care of it. I mean, it was a said thing, but did they teach me the steps? No. So I'm doing this video so you guys don't fall into the pitfalls that I fell into. I started around 2014 when I was just like, okay, cool. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. And like things just weren't working out. I did just like everyone else. Went into college, got a application for a credit card, rushed, filled it out. And instead of maxing it out on just fun, I maxed it out on classes because I had a rough first year, didn't do well my first year, and had to go to China Tech to get my grades up. So like it's the local tech school that the college will send you to so you can kind of like show yourself approved. And I wanted to pay for those classes and I didn't have funding for it to start as early as I wanted to. So I maxed it out. I only had $1,000 on that credit card. Later on, I got a cell phone. I didn't pay the bill eventually over time, just broke, didn't have enough money. Instead of saying, okay, how can I figure this out? Or what can I do to keep it from hitting my credit? I let it hit my credit. That was the next thing. Obviously, I had like medical bills too, just like so many other people, but I was able to get that taken care of. It was just like, you know, effect after effect. Luckily, it was nothing too bad. Like I didn't have bankruptcies or anything, but I didn't pay bills on time. I didn't keep credit card balances low. I couldn't even get approved for a credit card for a while. If I did, it was definitely a secured card. So initially what I did was I pulled my credit report and I updated it. For anything that I saw on my credit report that was wrong, I sent a letter to the credit bureau. So that included like if there's a collection that maybe I already paid off, or maybe it's a collection that got bought from another debt collector, and so it's showing multiple times. So I like went ahead, and luckily I'm like a paper hoarder, so I like provided all of my documentations and got all of the repetitives taken off. So one place where you can pull your credit report for free is annualcreditreport.com, and you can only pull it one time per year without being charged a fee. Another way that you can get your credit report is if you go apply for credit and you're denied, you'll automatically get the opportunity to see at least that report that was pulled for your credit history. And then another thing that I did was like if I saw any type of like inaccuracies, I went ahead and took care of those. So that was the first thing I did. Pull my credit report, look through, see what's right, and started handling it. It was cool calling these folks. Next thing I did was I went ahead and whatever old debts I saw, I got those settled. So instead of paying like the full debt amount, I agreed like, okay, I'll pay X amount if you promise to remove it from my credit report like next month. So they can only remove things from your credit report every 30 days or after the start of the month or whatever. And most times debt collectors want to close something out by the end of the month because they don't want to roll that over to the next month. So they're always really motivated to get it done super quick. The next thing that they love is when you put in auto drafts. If you're like, good, you can auto draft X amount from my account. So the ones that I can handle within like a 30 or 60 day period, I set up auto drafts for those. As soon as I paid them off, I had them email me a letter that said I'm all clear, debt free, and that they're removing that debt from my credit report. So that really helped. You know, I definitely disputed anything that was over 7 years. If it'd been over there on my credit report for 7 years or more and it's negative, dispute, take it off. Now these days you can just do it online, but I literally had to like keep mailing in different stuff. It worked out. To this day, if I mail something to the credit bureaus, sometimes I'll do it online and I'll send it certified mail because I want to make sure you got it. But the next thing that I did to get my credit score increased was that I created payment plans for like my current debt. So let's say I had already had cards that were already at like a high amount. Then I automatically started saying, okay, I'm going to just like tackle this card. One of my biggest motivators was Dave Ramsey. I have like everything Dave Ramsey. I took his course. I've been reading Tiffany Aliche for a long time. Those are the two that I primarily read. I would Google nothing out of things, and I literally started doing like all the things that they tell you. So one of the things that they'll tell you is to start paying attention to your account. Like pay attention to how much money you're spending, what you're spending on, make sure it matches your budget. So I started with like a spending diary. I started with just going back to that spending diary and seeing like, okay, I'm spending way too much money on here. Okay, I'm spending way too much money on partying. Like, cause those were my things back then. And I just like changed it. I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna use cash so I'll know when I run out. You mess with the card, you're gonna mess yourself up and think you got money there. You take it out and use cash, you're gonna be in a good hand. So I did that until I started being able to just behave with my damn money. Another thing is that I made sure that when I paid them off, like I paid them off within 30 days. One thing that will spike your credit score is if each time you get a new statement, your current balance, like you're keeping it below what that statement amount is. So what you don't want to do is, let's say you have $1,000 credit card and you spent $300 on it. The following month, you want to make sure you're below $300. So if you go ahead and pay it down to $200 or $100, that will spike your credit score like really good. And the second thing is you always want to keep your credit limits at 29% or less. I used to thought it was 30% until I started seeing my score rise when I kept it below 29. Just 1 degree, honey. 1%. 1% made a big difference. But keep it at 29% or below, and I used to just see like 1 or 2 points, right? So I have Credit Karma, I have Equifax, I have those apps on my phone. So I monitor my credit on a regular basis. And it used to kind of annoy me when I get the low alert and they'll say, your credit score has increased by 1 point. There's been a change in your credit report and it increased by 2 points. They used to irritate me. It was so nice that I started seeing it increase by 7 points, 10 points, 15 points. Like these things really, really work. Staying in my budget was the biggest thing. That was the biggest thing. I couldn't get in so much of a rush to pay off debt that I messed up and didn't pay for something else, because it was super duper important that I knew that once that money is spent, I need to stay within that. Make sure everything stayed on time. So I was paying all my bills. I still do pay all my bills on time, put as many on auto draft as I could afford. Like I had to ramp myself up to being able to put all my bills on auto draft. That wasn't something I could do forever ago. It wasn't something I was even felt good doing. I started noticing that I just had money left over just because I was budgeting. Like all of a sudden it's like, wow, I do have money. Before, I run out of money payday. Like by the morning I got paid, account might be in the negative or is literally at zero. Well, when I started doing a budget, different, all the way different. And my credit score reflected it because I was paying my bills on time. I was being a good steward of my money. Dave Ramsey is really big on the 7 baby steps. And the first one was saving $1,000. So I did the Giselle energy, like he says, to get that $1,000 saved. When I was done with that $1,000, I started paying down debt, but simultaneously I started saving for my 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses as well. And what I had available in my account or in my bills or whatever, I put towards my regular bills and my debt. Now the biggest thing before I finish my whole list that I had here for you guys. The biggest thing is making sure that you don't accept jobs that's gonna pay you less than what you need to pay your regular bills. So I made sure to start staying at getting jobs that paid me exactly what I can pay my regular bills. Every time I took a new job, I took a new position, I got promoted, that extra went towards me being debt free and me getting my score right. And that literally worked for me. Like literally. There been times I even took side hustles so that I can pay off debt. So if you guys haven't seen that video already, I talked about the side hustles I did as I grew my career, and side hustles really helped me like pay some debt down. Another thing that I did was I paid off all unnecessary credit accounts. So I had like several loans that I just was irresponsible and got them. Paid them off. Honey, when they call me back and be like, oh, Timeka, we have this for you. If you refer this person, we have this. Could y'all please take me off y'all phone list? Like, don't even entice me because I'm still working on myself. That's a muscle. The spending muscle is a muscle. So I just paid off anything that was not absolutely necessary. Of course, I still had debt with like credit cards, my car, whatever. But like extra loans and whatever else may have happened. I mean, at one point in time, I was renting furniture forever ago when I was with my daughter's dad. At another point in time, I was doing payday loans. At another time, I was just dumb with my money. Wasted a ton of it. And I just stopped doing all the foolishness. It was okay for me to find something free or listen, I can't come. I ain't got the money. It doesn't matter if I have the money. I have it budgeted for something else. It's already allocated. Big help for me was watching debt-free millennials videos. Like, they have a YouTube channel. Oh, they're so good. So I watch them a lot too. That's super duper helpful. So the nice thing was I have stupid student loan debt. Like, it's insane. I paused my payments on that. And then came 2020 and the federal government paused them for me. Okay, that works. So I used that money to continue saving and paying down debt. Now, one thing that I just didn't realize was a big thing until I got on this journey. Like, for a while because I didn't do 5 something to 7 something like overnight. I think last year this time I was at like a 630. Maybe. I know when I bought my house, my average score between the 3 was 630. And I fluctuated around there for a while. And I was tired of that. And I said, you know what? By the time it was the end of last year, I was like, 2023 is my year to be in the 700 club. And my goal was anywhere from 700 to 750. Didn't even realize that I already hit 707 earlier, like in November. I had 704 in November. But I was so proud of myself, I still thought I had 685 because Credit Karma doesn't show the exact credit score that's on your credit report. So I was looking at Credit Karma thinking Credit Karma was like higher. So I really thought I was below 670. And so I was really pushing. And it was showing me at like 679, 680, whatever. And I kept saying, okay, I got to work really hard. Finally, I looked at the Equifax app, which I hardly ever use because it only shows the Equifax report. And then I decided, okay, I'm going to pay 1 month so I can see all 3 of my scores. And I have been at 704 since November. Super duper happy about it. But I was like, dang, girl, you killing the game. You might get to 750 before you think. But another thing that helped me was that I just stopped requesting new credit lines of credit. So yeah, looking at them apps really helped me say, okay, you know what? Stop requesting more credit. You are supposed to keep it down below a certain percentage. And what I'll do is I'll show you my Credit Karma app so that you guys can see like how you want to make sure that you look at the limits that it gives you. So it tells you how many years you want your debt to be there, or that you want to show that you've been accruing, credit. It also shows you where you want to keep your average balances. It also shows you exactly how many lines of credit you want to request per year, like what keeps your score good. Staying within those guidelines really helped me. And another thing that helped me, now that I'm thinking about the Credit Karma app, was that Credit Karma would tell you, hey, if you make an extra payment on this month, this will really help. That did help because there were times I didn't realize I was so close to 30%, or maybe I could be under 50%. Getting those alerts and then making that payment, yeah, that really helped too. So another thing that really helped me was like late payments. I had a ton of late payments, thought, oh Jesus. I know why I didn't want to pay them people on time, but I had a ton of late payments. What I did was I was already paying on time. So like, I think 2019, I made it my business not to miss no payments on nothing. Then came COVID and that caused some problems. Not for me, but because on my mortgage, I did this whole COVID thing. But anyhow, beyond that, I don't have any late payments. So I already went years of no late payments. So anything that was still showing, at least within the 3-year limit, like I went aggressive. Anything that was showing on my credit report, listen, honey, it's coming off. And I did Goodwill letters. So you can do Goodwill letters to get late payments off. You just have to show that you've been paying on time for a while, and you have to let them know how you're going to continue paying on time. And sometimes you can say like, this is what happened and what caused me to be late at that time. And now since then I've done this, and moving forward, like I'm going to put it on auto draft, or, I already know that I'm going to pay it off on this date or whatever. Like, that can help you in them Goodwill letters. Goodwill letters aren't guaranteed. Some people acknowledge them, some people don't. I wouldn't even do the Goodwill letter before I talk to the creditor. So I call the creditor and ask them. They say no, then I do the Goodwill letter. But last but not least, the very last thing I did that really helped me was I had to practice patience, child. That thing took a while. This wasn't something that happened overnight, but I was able to get my credit score to launch up large numbers, like 20, 30 points in like no time, by just keeping debt below 30%, not asking for new debt, not being late on any payments, and just letting stuff fall off. Like, let the negativity fall off. It's only gonna stay in your credit report for so long of a period of time. And as it, fell off, I just made sure not to do it again. It really helped. Now, if any of this is over your head, just let me know and I can do a video on whatever part I may have like just went over really quick. But I wanted to just tell you guys, like, it's not an easy journey, and it was something that I really want. My goal is to be at 750 this year. I'm so happy I'm in the 700 club. I'm just so happy. But that's what my goal is to be, and you can do it too. You can do it too. I started this journey when I was making like $30,000 a year, and it just became easier as I disciplined myself and made my money. And so I want you to stay encouraged. I did a video all about how I paid off debt. So check that out. I'll put all of those links down in the description box so you can check those videos out. It helped me stay encouraged while I was trying to build my career because I just felt like something got to give. Like somebody got to give me some positivity somewhere. And you can do it too, man. You can do it. So for those of you who are new, I hope that you decide to subscribe and realize that I'm going to bring some more goodness to you on this YouTube here. And for those of you who are returning, you already know your girl got some more videos up her sleeve. Thank y'all so much for watching. And I really cannot wait to see y'all on the next video.